Hello viewers, Ponylover1989 here, and welcome to another reaction episode. You know, it's been a long time since I've reacted to OmniGem's reviews on 3 movies that he's done, especially the box office bomb of a live-action Mario movie, The Country Bears, a Disney live-action film that was also a box office bomb, and the Scooby-Doo live-action movie. So yeah, I think it's about time I do another reaction of a movie review. This time we're gonna be reviewing the movie that was released in 1998 for, a bunch of Barney era lovers and a bunch of people like me who used to watch Barney when I was a little kid. Anyway, this next episode of Underground Cinema is a review on the movie Barney's Great Adventure. So yeah, I could see why I'm not wearing my Meowth costume. So, let's get to it, shall we? Oh, pink salt, cold water. Oh, it's an ad for the strict diet things. Yeah, skip. Thai morning ritual? Overnight? What? Skip. Okay, let's begin the review reaction. Theme song, Enemy by... Oh, yep, that's today's movie. Why the bleep does it exist? I think it's a good idea if Meowth watches it with me.
Today's a day where anyone with a special someone in their life go out dating.
Let's just get the volume up a bit.
Virgin in a dark corner somewhere, just begging to get laid and earn some kind of verification of adulthood. Like, that's enough to cover your fuck ups in the past, right? Yes.
Off script. Off script.
Anyways, instead of going out to look for some woman that might ruin my life and screw me over, I decided to review a movie starring a character that kind of relates to the word love in the most juvenile way
And
possible.
friendship is magic.
And this said character is sadly back to relevancy with a new show that I hear is currently airing as we speak.
There's a 2024 reboot, and see, maybe this was bad. Barney's Great Adventure.
Just
from Polygram Video.
How do you make a movie based off Barney the dinosaur?
Actually, there's a 2024 CGI reboot, but it's not live action. It's CGI.
Had its notoriety back then, but no self-respecting studio would have taken the chance to make a movie based on the children's equivalent of Nickelback and White Castle.
Nickelback and White Castle.
But seeing as how this purple weirdo has somehow made a
comeback
that nobody asked for, I guess it's only fair to tackle in the fucker while the iron's still hot. But before we get into the movie, we need to have a history lesson about Barney and why this movie was a bad idea from the start. For those of you who are too young or who are lucky enough to have never subjected themselves into
the Barney home videos,
is a children's show franchise that has been around much longer than we realize.
Since it started out as Barney and the Backyard Gang back in the 1980s. 1988 VHS.
Unfortunately, with its success, it brought
That's what Barney's design looked like back in 1988. Before they changed it what he looks like now.
It would have had a surprisingly long TV run with only 14 seasons. First starting at April 6th of
the show's first airing,
and then it got
1992 and April 6th.
2010.
November 2nd, 2010.
As it would get a few couple of videos uploaded on YouTube.
Not counting the many man babies who recorded VHS tapes.
Done with CGI, with Barney looking even more With how long it had been around, it begs the question as to why Barney had stuck around as long as it did.
Barney
when it's
and
been
the Four
proven
Seasons
time and again
VHS.
that the series wasn't particularly good for children to begin with. Now, being as a halfway reasonably insane individual who has the power to not be brainwashed by Barney, but don't have the time to watch every episode if I want to, let me give you a quick story synopsis of a typical
Source
Barney
down
episode.
with 2.
At the end of a school day or a Saturday afternoon, a couple of kids, usually 4 or 5 of them, would come over to an empty school and do something together. And it would usually lead to a couple of scenarios why they want to have Barney with them. It would be something like, "We found something mysterious. We should get Barney to help. Hey, let's make this day more fun with Barney." And things like that. Barney would appear as a small plushie and with the
As
help
a
of
little
some
doll-
magic
a
words,
doll.
but just hearing the kids wanting him to come to life, Barney would transform into a sad, pathetic soul in a big, goofy costume. A real dinosaur. And we see Barney and his friends do activities together. They mainly consist of them teaching you basic lessons like mind your manners, be nice to everyone,
Manners,
brush
being
your teeth,
nice,
eat
brushing
healthy,
teeth,
the
eat
typical
healthy,
stuff.
and
And much like
ABCs
every
and
other
1, 2,
children's
3s.
show out there, they sing a couple of songs with us. Some of them
And
are
songs.
covers to famous children's songs like
They're covers to
children's
children's songs.
Wagon, Old MacDonald Had a Farm, The Ants Go Marching, etc., etc., etc. But it would also get its own songs that they made up. Songs like We Like the Shapes.
We Like the Shapes.
Hey, look at me.
Hey,
I
look
can
at me,
fly.
I can fly.
It's okay to cry.
Flying in
and
an airplane,
please
looking
be
out the window.
They would spend the day hanging out with Barney and
The
doing some
jungle is a place to
child-friendly
go.
activities, and it would always end with the kids learning some kind of lesson. They would say goodbye, and Barney would sing the "I Love You" song at the end of every episode.
I love
And
you at
transform back
the
to
end of
Barney.
every episode.
Now, on paper, this doesn't sound like a bad premise for a children's show. In fact, it's pretty serviceable for children's show standards, and that kind of setup would work on just about any gimmick or theme for children. So, what exactly is the issue? There's a lot to go by, but I found this quote that perfectly sums up Barney and explains to you why it was not well regarded to a lot of people. So here's the quote.
I wonder what the
His
Barney-
shows do not assess children in learning to deal with negative feelings and
feelings and
emotions.
emotions.
As one
As one
commentator puts it, the real danger from Barney is denial, the refusal to recognize the existence of unpleasant realities. For along with a steady diet of giggles and unconditional love, Barney offers our children a one-dimensional world where everyone must be happy and everything must be resolved right away.
Hey, isn't that music from like
In
one
other
of the
words,
Five Nights at
Barney
Freddy's
is the kind
games?
of parent that doesn't talk to their kids about the truth about Santa Claus, but rather the kind of parent that doubles down on the bullshit you hear from these dumbed down fairy tales and having this false sense of reality that cartoon characters can exist, take all of that and convince their child that it's
Unless
all
you
real
count
despite all the
by
crap
watching
you
Who
do.
Framed Roger
It's-
Rabbit, Space
and on
Jam,
top
and
of
Looney
all
Tunes
that,
Back in
it was
Action,
a
and the
really
2021
dumb and
Tom
very
and Jerry
boring show
film.
to sit through. I know that Barney was aimed for kids under 2 or 5 years old, and I shouldn't expect anything more out of it. No adult show.
Baby Bop
But
is
that
3
doesn't
years
mean it
old.
shouldn't put any effort into making it watchable for both parents and children. There's a reason why people still remember shows like Sesame Street,
Sesame
Muppets
Street
to this
and
day. They don't
Muppets.
just entertain the kids with really sappy music and pandering morality lectures. No, they give us memorable moments, likable characters, fun, catchy songs, and thought-provoking lessons that anyone could adapt and remember. Just like Arthur,
Just like Arthur, Mr. Rogers, Dora the
all
Explorer.
have some kind of charm to it and replay
What?
those
No
moments
mention of
that you look
SpongeBob?
back on it with fondness years later. Barney doesn't have any of those benefits. It's one of the most mind-numbingly enduring shows you will ever watch in your whole life. The songs are sappy and annoying, the lessons being taught are as bare bones as you could get, nothing remotely bad ever happens in the stories, and never took any risk on talking about anything important, and instead just pretends that nothing bad ever happens in the real world. While Arthur tackled on issues like gay marriage, divorced parents, PTSD,
Arthur.
misinformation on the internet, and many other things,
Lots of
Barney
issues.
talks about how important it is to brush your teeth and dance around saying how cool shapes and colors are. While Mr. Rogers talks about sick, violent people and how it can affect others around them with their rage and anger, Barney says that everyone around the world are nicer than the cute Care Bear coated in honey and sugar.
Care
Well,
Bears.
Sesame Street had an episode with the crew talking talking to Big Bird about the concept of death. Barney
Oh,
just
about
pretends such a
oh,
thing
the
doesn't
death of
exist and everything
Mr. Hooper.
worked out fine in the end. God damn. You know your show is really bad and child pandering when even My Little Pony tried to do something different.
My Little
by giving
Pony.
characters depth and having major storylines that continue from episode to episode.
Friendship is magic.
Barney doesn't do a fucking thing to mix things up or make things interesting, and I could not for the life of me understand why any unfortunate child that watched this show became fans and grew up to be socially inept children.
Man, children.
Barney's not a worse dinosaur. He's so special. And I even will rewrite him even more.
What? Is that Train Boy? Ah, pity the fool.
Fair, Barney isn't exactly the most horrible thing in the world. I mean, it's not as bad as the randomly absurd
The Teletubbies,
or the stress-inducing
Caillou,
or that unholy brain-melting abomination that should be eradicated from the internet that they call cult.
Coco Mel. Coco Melon.
Here are the 3 biggest myths keeping you from recovery. If you have
And
Melon, but the fact still stands.
Coco
Barney
Melon.
is not a well-received show. But so what, I hear you say? It's still a very popular show in children's media, and its name value alone will sell tickets. Surely the infamy couldn't be that bad, right? Oh, believe me. You have no idea how bad it really was. The Barney hate was real.
The Barney hate
It
was real.
very It was so big that there was a whole documentary series.
There's a documentary on Peacock.
The term
Even the
anti-Barney humor, and there was a
Anti-Barney humor
because
is
there was no way anyone who lived around the 90s and the early 2000s couldn't have missed the anti-Barney humor craze. Kids were talking about how stupid the show was. Teenagers at schools would sing the I Hate You song and post videos of themselves
and
just
even
killing
the
Barney.
Barney era.
Even the adults got in on the craze.
Oh.
There was an SNL skit of Charles Barkley dominating Barney at some basketball game. The Animaniacs and that
The Animaniacs
dinosaur sitcom
spoof.
took crack shots at Barney. There were freaking college campus parties of students just beating up Barney, fucking up their plushies, and the coloring pages. There was even an album made by an old R&B and jazz singer named Freda Payne.
Freda
The
Payne.
album is just nothing but a bunch of anti-Barney songs. And if I'm honest,
And there's
it was
Barney
a pretty fun
errors.
album to listen to.
That don't
I know
even
I've been
sound
talking
like
about
good
this Barney
manners.
thing for a long time now, but it seriously needs to be said for this important question regarding the movie. So, now that you know that Barney was a badly done children's show with a really huge bad reputation to the public, with kids and adults poking fun of the show and criticizing for how schmaltzy, repetitive, and one-dimensional it is, what out-of-touch moron at a pitch room meeting thought it would be a good idea to make a movie based on Barney the dinosaur? Well, they went for it.
Well,
And it's not
they
hard
went
to see
for it.
why it failed so horribly back in 1998. All you Barney lovers can argue with me in the comments saying, it did just fine, but the movie was made for kids. But the ratings and box office numbers speak for themselves. You
$12
certainly
million.
don't see a Barney movie 2 anywhere around here now, do you? Yeah,
Very
exactly.
funny. Let's
So
all
you Barney
laugh at
lovers
the
can get in
duck.
the corner and start crying like the worthless little babies you are.
Man,
But
children.
still, I am curious to see how they made this movie, given that Barney is a show that doesn't leave much room for conflict and stakes. This ought to be something. So with that said, let us move on to the review.
Okie
So the
dokie.
movie begins with this incredibly boring opening
The
with
intro.
kids being taken to some house in the middle of the
And
woods.
that looks like
No
font
bad
from
scenes,
the
no
opening
bad
credits of
scenes,
Look Who's
no
Talking.
hours of our lives, especially
Do you
for
remember the
thousands of
film
people that
Look Who's
actually
Talking?
watch this shit.
You know,
And
Mikey,
this
the
really
baby,
sad
is
and
voiced
boring
by
song is
Bruce
not
Willis, you
helping.
know. Shirley Maryvale, Diana Rice, Jeff Ayers,
This song
Jeff
was so
Brooks.
bad that it was nominated as the worst song for the
Oh!
Razzies. I think
nominated
this
as
song
one
was
of the
made for
the
manipulation.
opening title is
Because it
the
makes
worst
you feel like
song
it's been
ever,
going on
just
for
like Mary the Mole
You
from
just see the family
Thumbelina.
driving over to their grandpa's farm or whatever. Nothing happens apart from these two girls.
One of them being the future voice for Penny in the Proud Family.
Talking